Hi, my name is Meg Poe, and I am a part of the Parkinson's Movement Initiative, a program offered by a grant through the Parkinson's Foundation. We offer classes weekly in dance and kind of a Pilates yoga combo class, which is what we're going to be doing today. There are three of us that created the Parkinson's Movement Initiative. It's NC Dance for Parkinson's, Poe Wellness Solutions, which is me, and our classes are offered at the American Dance Festival in Durham, North Carolina. So I'm super excited to be here with you today. And I want to thank the Parkinson's Foundation. I wanted to make sure I got this in. Thank you to the Parkinson's Foundation for inviting us to participate in the PD Health at Home Fitness Friday video series. It's an honor to be here. So what we're going to do today is really kind of a two-segment workout. We're going to start in chairs to kind of warm up and just get everything moving. It's a great way to work on alignment and core strength. And then we're going to move to standing. And during COVID, like everybody, we've been offering our classes from home. And it's made me really realize the value of spaces in your home that you can exercise and use your house to support your balance. So we're going to do some things in the doorway today. If you are not set up in a doorway, you could, of course, use your chair for support. Or maybe you just pause this video and find a place that you can set up. Most of us, the cool thing about doorways is there's nothing in them, right? So you've got plenty of space. I put a mat down today, and I also have a really sturdy chair. When you do chair exercises, if your chair is wobbly, that can make you a little apprehensive, so we don't want that. So yeah, a nice sturdy chair. I put a mat down, mostly because on a rug, sometimes I slip a little, and I don't like that, so the mat is gonna help me out with that. When I teach my classes, I always ask at the beginning, I check in with everybody and see what they would like to do. And I can't check in with all of you, but main requests that I get are alignment, core strength, balance. And it seems like during COVID, we've had a whole lot of neck and shoulder things going on. Maybe we're sitting more than usual. So we're gonna focus on that a bit as well. That being said, let's get started. I want to just start with how we're sitting in our chair and finding our alignment. I'm actually going to turn to the side for a moment. You don't need to do that. But when I turn to the side, you can see that I ideally would be out towards the edge of my chair. I can't do that with the wall. But I've got my feet, but my heels pretty much under my knees. I'm pressing my legs down. And when you press your legs down, automatically you're going to feel your legs engage. If you don't feel some leg muscles engaging, I'm imagining maybe you're not pressing. So think about pressing into something. Something I'll say, imagine you've got a $20 bill under your foot and somebody is trying to take it. That might help you press a little bit more. So yeah, we're pressing those feet down. Leg muscles are engaging. You might also feel your glutes engage when you do that. So you might actually kind of lift up a little bit. And the whole idea of pressing down is you get this rebound effect of the crown of the head reaching high. So that's what we're working on. And just a guideline for alignment, and it doesn't work for everybody. When you press down and the crown of the head reaches high, what we're going for is our ears pretty much over our shoulders, over our rib cage, and over our pelvis. Again, it's not going to work for everybody, but it's a nice guideline. So what I want you to do is finding all of that alignment, noticing how it feels. Maybe you feel some muscles engaging. Let's just take our hands to our laps. And if you're comfortable, take a moment and allow your eyes to shut. Because I can talk to you about alignment all day long. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to feel your alignment. So feel your feet pressing down, holding that $20 bill in place. Feel your leg muscles engaging. Feel your glutes pressing down into your chair and the crown of the head reaching high. And that reach, notice what you feel in your torso as you do that. And then once you have found that engagement, let's shift our awareness to our breath. And that just simply means as you inhale, notice that you're inhaling. And as you exhale, notice that you're exhaling. You're continuing to maintain that alignment. And I think sometimes I stress alignment so much that people start to like kind of over engage. As you inhale, check in with that alignment. Feel the crown of the head reaching high. Feel muscles engaged. As you exhale, keep that length, but allow there to be a little ease in your body on the out breath. A few more times just like that. So let's go ahead and blink open the eyes. And I'm still facing the side because I want you to be able to more clearly see what we're going to do from here. All I want you to do is reach your chin out as far as you can. And then pull it back in and imagine you were pressing the back of the head into the wall. And then come forward again. So I just want you to create a little movement there. And we're all going to have different ranges of motion. We've all got different areas that are tight or tender or just feeling super good and able to move even more. So start to make that movement smaller, and as it becomes smaller, you're noticing how that feels and finding that place that your alignment feels best in your body. Now let's go ahead and slide our hands out towards our knees. And keep in mind with everything we do, if something doesn't feel good, just don't do it or do it in a way that feels better in your body. Since I'm not with you, I can't really see what's going on, right? So just do what feels right for you and skip what doesn't. So hands to the knees. On an inhale, I want you to pull back on your knees, send your chest forward, maybe look up towards the ceiling a bit so it's a big arch of your back. And then as you exhale, we're going to press the hands into the thighs, round the back, and look down towards your lap. And let's do a couple of those. Inhaling, opening up the front of the body, engaging the back. Exhaling and reversing that, opening the back, engaging the front. So your own pace, your own range of motion. Let's start to make that movement a little smaller. And just like we did with our neck, we're really trying to feel the place that feels just right for our alignment. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and turn back towards you. Checking in with my feet. Again, heels under knees, pressing down. I'm engaged here. I'm engaged in my glutes, and I'm really tall. It's a great habit to get into, thinking about those areas that help you most to keep that long alignment. If you're not sure about engaging through your center, sometimes people aren't really sure if they're doing that or not. Take your hands for a moment and bring them to your waist and kind of dig those fingers down in there. And I want you to just make a cough happen. And when you make a cough happen, you're going to feel these muscles engaged. So those are the muscles I want you to just kind of try to keep your attention coming back to every now and then, because I don't want them to be really tight, but I want you to find them and have them engaged, because those are the muscles that are keeping your posture and your alignment. Let's go ahead and reach our fingertips down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders forward, up, and back for a moment. So with the fingertips reaching down, we're just going to start to rotate. So my hands go back, even my elbows go back, and my shoulders go back. And then I'm going to rotate all of that forward. So as you do this, you're going to feel your shoulders come forward, space in the upper back, chest open, shoulder blades pinch together. To see how big you can make that movement. Just allowing your breath to happen. Awesome. From here, so next time I'm just going to sit tall again. I'm going to rotate my arms and let them start to float out to the sides. Now I've got something going on with my left shoulder right now. So you're going to see that that arm might not quite do what the right one does. And hey, we all got to honor what's happening in our bodies, right? So we're rotating, letting the arms float high, and then we're going to circle them around, and they're going to come right out in front. And then once they come back towards the floor, let's just be still for a moment. Maybe even kind of feeling movement happening in your body when you're not moving. So that blood is flowing, energy's going. Let's do it again, but in the opposite direction. So start rotating the arms as far as you can, opening them up, rounding them forward. And then we're going to let those arms float high again. Try and keep the shoulders heavy and out of the ears, the neck long, crown of the head reaching high. So we're going all the way around. And I keep stressing, it's your pace and your range of motion. Awesome. When the hands are back to the sides, let's just pause there for a moment, check in with alignment. Nice. A little bit of more arm movement. Let's just start. And as you inhale, let those arms float up. Arms are going to float high, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Again, those shoulders are down away from the ears. Exhale, arms come back down by your sides. You're reaching as high as you comfortably can, maybe challenging yourself a little bit. If you want to, you can just kind of let your eyes, your face follow those fingertips, and then you're going to get a little movement in your neck as well. I always tell my classes, I can't teach and count. So if I do more than you want to do, please pause. If I don't do enough, you can do more. Next time hands are down, let's all meet there. This time we're going to take them out to the sides. So as you inhale, let's let the palms float up towards the ceiling, fingertips high. And then we'll take them back down, rotate those palms to the floor, and they come back by our sides. So several of those. Again, you might look up, getting into the neck. Let's go one more of those. Nice. Next time the arms are down by the sides, we'll all meet there. Okay, so this time we're going to combine those two movements, and left and right is really hard to do on camera. So I'm going to refer to one arm as being the arm with the chair. So this is my chair arm because I've got my little seat over here. And then this is the other arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking the chair arm out in front and the other arm out to the side. So that would mean my chair arm is out to the front, opposite arm comes out to the side. Going to come up towards the ceiling and then come right back down where they came from. Next set, we're going to switch that. Chair arm to the side, other arm in front. Let's switch that up again. Chair arm is out in front, opposite arm to the side. chair arm to the side, opposite arm in front. One more set, just like that. And again, I say it all the time, you're moving at your own pace. You're still pressing those feet down. You've got legs engaged, a long torso. Last time, that chair arm's going out to the side, opposite arm to the front. Beautiful. Bring the hands right back to the lap. We're going to get back into the neck a little bit. We've done some things to warm up those muscles. So start alignment, pressing down, crown of the head high. All we're going to do is as you exhale, let your chin just melt right on down to your chest. Inhale, either ear over to the side. And then exhale back to center. Over to the opposite side. So we're just going to let that happen several times of alternating ear to shoulder. And this is not about getting your ear to your shoulder. It's really about the opposite side. It's about finding length in the other side. So next time your ear finds its way to the shoulder, either side, doesn't matter which, we don't have to be synchronized for this. Let's all meet there. Alignment check. Only thing that's changed in your alignment is we've let the ear drop over and we're getting a really nice stretch through one side of the neck and maybe some compression in the opposite side. So as we hang out here, I want you just to kind of play around with some little movements. So this is you exploring your neck. We've all got different stuff going on in there. I actually find sometimes I get a little dizzy with neck work. So if that happens with you, definitely come out of this neck stretch. Okay, let's go ahead. Let the chin come back to center. So just roll the chin to center and go over to the opposite side. But we're going to alternate side to side a few times. I feel like after we hang out on one side, we don't need to suddenly ask the body to hang out on the other side. That's kind of a big ask. So we're going side to side. And the next time your ear finds its way to the side we haven't stretched yet, then let's all meet there. So once you get there, you're finding your alignment again. The ear is reaching towards the shoulder, but more than that, it's the other ear that's reaching away from the shoulder. So we got a lot of length going on here. On this side, let's find those little micro moves, that little neck exploration. Okay, when you are ready, let's just go back to that side to side movement one last time. And let everything come back to balance. And then as you're ready, when your chin comes back to the chest, you'll just pause there for a moment. And then let's go ahead and reach the crown of the head high again. So we're back to our awesome alignment. Hands to the knees. We've already done this movement once. We're going to go one more time. Just pull back on the knees, send the chest forward, look up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are away from the ears. Feel the back of the body engage. Reverse it, press into the legs, round the spine in the opposite direction. And let's go ahead and do a few of those. Beautiful. Come back to that long spine. This time we're going to get a little bit of side body stretching. So take your hands to your chair. And for just a moment, pressing down, you can even press the hands into your chair this time and feel that spine go long. I'm going to start with my chair arm. You can start with either. So what I'm going to do is I've got one hand on the chair for a little extra support. Opposite hand is going to float up and over. And then I'm going to go ahead and reach the hand across my body. So again, I'm creating a lot of space between the base of my rib cage, the top of my pelvis. I'm reaching long, but I'm keeping that shoulder out of my ear. Let's go ahead and bring that hand down. Same thing, opposite side. Oh, and again, I told you I got an arm that's not working really well lately, so I might not reach quite as far on the side. Do what you can do and be kind to your body. A couple of breaths here. And then let's come back. And now let's just at your own pace, do 3 of those on each side with a little bit more momentum. So you'll inhale, arm sweeps up and over. Oh, exhale, that arm comes back. I have a tendency to cue breathing. If my cueing is really doesn't work for your body, all I ask is that you make sure that you're breathing. Inhale when you need to, exhale when you need to. Shoulders are heavy and out of the ears. I'm going to go one more time on each side. And then let's bring all that back to center. Okay, so we're getting lots of length, lots of space in our spine. This next one I want to do is just going back into the arms and shoulders, since I get that request so much, neck. We're going to inhale and let both arms float up like we've already done several times. So our arms are up. We're going to turn our palms forward. Take those arms a little bit out so you're kind of making a V shape. And that V shape we're going to make into a W. So pull those elbows down and back, give them a little squeeze, and then reach them high again. And let's go ahead and do several of those. When you're making this movement, notice what you're feeling and see if you can find that space between your shoulder blades. Nice. Next time those elbows are down, I want you to try to get your elbows kind of even with your shoulders, if that works. Feet are pressing down, pressed into the chair, super tall. Let's go ahead and check out bringing those arms forward. And then opening them wide. So Pilates and yoga are both about moving with your breath and more of a controlled, precise movement. We're taking out momentum and really getting those muscles to work, stretch, strengthen. Awesome. Next time the arms are back, we're going to all pause there. And we're going to see about taking this to a twist. Really important with our twist. Our arms stay back. Our spine stays long. Crown of the head is reaching high. And we stay anchored into our chair. So I'm going to go ahead, doesn't matter which direction you twist in, but go ahead and just turn to either side. Keep pressing the arms back. Find those muscles on the sides of your body, your obliques. And then let's come right back to facing each other again. Same thing, other side. Find your twist, elbows pressing back, spine long. Come back to center. Let's go. I'm going to say 3 more on each side. You can always do more or less. You decide. A lot of us have a tendency to kind of round forward when we twist. So really focus on crown of the head high, those shoulder blades. You're feeling that space in your upper back working. Awesome. Last one, at least for me. Let's go ahead and bring those arms down. They might feel a little heavy. They've done some work. Let's get a few shoulder circles in there. Just shake the wrist down a little. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a little wrist work, and then we're gonna have to get up standing soon. So let's take both arms forward. I want you to turn your palms up and really press this part of your hand towards me. Spread your fingers really wide. That always makes my eyes open really wide. We're going to alternate this big hand movement with turning the palms up, making a tight fist, and bringing those elbows back. So again, I'm into the upper back and shoulders. So let's go for 10 of those. You're going to press forward, wide hands, pushing, and then pull back, tight fist. This is 3 for me. 4, if you're at a different pace, that's fine. Really wide. Tight fists. I think that's 10. Arms come down, give them a little shake. Okay, I want to do just a little bit of leg work before we go to standing. First thing, just lift your toes up and wiggle those toes around a little bit. I want you to kind of feel the feet in contact with the mat. Let the toes rest down. Let's go ahead and lift the heels of both feet. So we're coming up on the toes. Drop the heels. Now press the heels down and lift the front of the feet. And let's do a few of those. Awesome. Let's let both feet come flat to the floor. Now, something that I am not very good at, but I think it's a good exercise to do. I'm going to lift the heel of one foot, lift the toes of the other foot. So my feet are doing opposite things. And then we're going to switch that. So both feet flat, switch heel and toes lifting, and just continue like that. I, for some reason, feel like the need to watch my feet when I do this. See if you can do it without watching your feet. And then could you start to get a little faster and faster? And I always end up messing up. So maybe you're still going, but I am stopping because I get myself all confused. Let's go ahead and find our way to standing. If you're not going to do standing things with us today, if that doesn't work for you, you could hang out in the chair and maybe do some of the arm movements that we do, or and if that's not going to work for you and you decide to leave now, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you'll stick around and check out our standing. So let's go ahead and find our way up. So typically in classes, I have people use a chair when we're doing standing exercises for balance. It's great to have the support. So much of the times, we don't have our chairs fitted for us. So quite often somebody will be having to lean on their chair, which means if I am leaning on my chair, then I am losing my alignment. And then I'm looking up, which is making my alignment even worse. So we're doing a lot of icky things to our spine and our posture and our ability to breathe. So what we really want is that beautiful posture. That's what we're going for. So just keep that in mind when you use a chair. I'm going to move my chair to the side because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But maybe you have a chair in front of you. You could imagine I have one there. Or maybe you have relocated to a door frame, which now I not only do I have great support for my standing balance, but I've got a wall that's kind of a good guideline for what I want my alignment to be. First exercise we're going to do, though, is we're going to actually turn and lean into the door frame. So my feet are stepping away a little bit because it's really hard to stand like this, right? So I'm going to take my feet away, and I'm finding that bone at the base of my spine first, and I'm going to put that against the wall. And I'm going to see about putting kind of my upper back against the wall. We all have that natural curve, so like my hand can fit underneath. Shoulders, upper back to the wall. And depending on your alignment, could you place the head against the wall? Most likely, most of us are going to have some distance here because we have a tendency to reach forward a little bit. So it's a good thing to be aware of. Let's just play with the spine a little bit. So with my hands on my hips, I'm hoping that can get you a better view of what we're doing. As I use the wall where I can, I'm going to tilt my pelvis back. And when I tilt my pelvis back, I'm trying to press my lower back flat to the wall. It's kind of a weird feeling because that's not natural for me. So I'm going to go back to what feels more natural. So just play with that a couple times. Try and press your back flat to the wall and then release. Let's do a few more. Yeah, for me to do that, I'm actually having to bring my head away from the wall. That's a tough movement for me. And that's mostly because it's not natural. The curves in our spine are there for a reason. Okay, find how you feel the most comfortable, maybe a little space in your lower back. Now let's do the same thing with the head. Could you press your head into the wall and then come forward with it? Now, if you can't make contact, that's okay. I just want you to find that stretch as you press back and then release. Now, if you can pretty comfortably press back, then what I want you to work on doing is keeping your head against the wall and sliding the back of the head up as your chin kind of tucks towards your chest, but see if you can keep your head in contact with the wall. And just play with a few of those. So what I'm hoping is happening is we're all finding our stretch. We're going to be different, and that's okay because we've all got different bodies. Awesome. Okay, now I want you just to find a comfortable alignment as you lean into the wall. Maybe we've opened some spaces up. Let's take our hands forward, and I've got my palms facing towards each other, like maybe I was holding a ball in my hand. My feet are anchored to the floor. My spine is long. I'm pressing into the wall where I can. And then I want you just to take your elbows and squeeze those elbows back. And that's kind of cool because you can go on either side of the wall and then release that. So pull the elbows back, feel your shoulder blades kind of pinch together. Maybe count to 5 and then release that. Awesome. So the neat thing about using the wall as a support is it doesn't change my alignment at all, but I'm getting a little upper back exercise and I'm getting those shoulders to open up a little bit. Let's go just one more time. Nice, release that and shake all that out. Now I'm not going to actually do this exercise today, but you might already be getting creative with things you could do with the door frame. If you wanted to, you could do some squats and get some leg strengthening. If you choose to do that, you want to be really careful with your knees because you don't want your feet in so close that your knees are way out beyond your toes. It's not good for the knees. So if you were to come into a kind of a chair position in your door frame, be really aware of knees more over your ankles. We're not going there right now, but you can do this on your own at any time, right? Okay. So what I want to do is I want us to come to the center of our door. Hands wherever you're comfortable. Maybe you feel better with hands down here, wherever you want to go, right? So you've got this balance. You might just have your fingertips at the wall, or maybe you're really hanging on because you need that extra support. Find your alignment just like we did in the chair. Pressing my feet down, reaching the crown of the head high. General guideline, ears over shoulders, over rib cage, over pelvis. And now I'm going to say over heels because a slight bend in your knees can help with alignment and balance. Not a big bend, but just you don't want them locked out is what it's called. You want kind of soft knees. So find all of that. You got your hands supporting you on the wall. So if you're comfortable, allow the eyes to shut again, just like we did when we were seated. Feel your alignment. Notice your breath. See if you can find a balance between muscles engaged, muscles supporting you here, and ease. We shouldn't be walking around through life with lots of tension in our body. Let's go ahead and blink those eyes open. And to start with balance, all I want you to do is we're going to lift our heels just the tiniest amount. You've got your wall for support, so a little heel lift. You decide how much, and then lower back down. So just play with that. This is a great way to kind of test your balance, see how things are feeling today. Maybe your hands aren't on the wall at all. They might just be hovering right there by the wall. Maybe you like to have them in close to your heart or on your hips. All good options. You might start to lift those heels a little higher. You could also do that little test to see, hey, are these muscles engaged? Can I make some engagement happen here? Next time you lift, could you stay lifted? Count to 5, it's your own count. Awesome, and let's slowly go ahead and lower those heels. Perfect. Little ankle exercise and also a great balance exercise. I'm gonna go ahead and shift my weight over to one side. I'm gonna give that knee a little bend. Opposite leg, I'm up on my toes. Maybe you put your hand on the wall. You can have it right there if you need it. We're gonna lift the opposite knee and just circle that ankle around a few times. So I'm getting a good ankle exercise here. And at the same time, working on my balance, crown of the head's reaching high. I've got alignment going on. My center is engaged. Switch directions if you haven't. Pause right here for a moment. Flex that foot. And then with control, let that foot come back to the floor, balanced on both feet. Same thing other side. You've got your wall right here as much as you need it. Shift your weight over so you get balanced over this leg. I've got that little bend in my knee, working on my alignment, not letting those shoulders round forward, but keeping them back. Up on the toes, I'm gonna see, could I lift the toes up off the floor? Maybe I could lift that knee even higher. You're in control of how high that lift is. You're deciding if you're using the wall or not. Couple of circles. Switch directions. Beautiful. Pause there. Let's flex that foot. Get tall. Couple of breaths. With control, bring that foot back to the floor. Awesome. Okay, from here, don't know how many of you do yoga, but we're gonna play with some yoga poses. Hands here on the door frame as you need it. So let's start. I'm gonna use my chair leg and I'm gonna slide my chair leg back. And I'm gonna work on that heel reaching back towards the floor. Might make it, might not. So you can know what I'm doing. I'm gonna move for just a moment, turn here so you can see what this looks like from the side. I'm standing tall, took a leg, slid it back, and I'm working on that heel reaching back towards the floor. Some of you might be able to get the heel all the way to the mat, maybe not. It's gonna give a good stretch through your calf of the leg that dropped back. Okay, so you can play around with your position in the door frame. You might come a little closer or a little further back. I just want you to feel comfortable there. So first, when it comes to balance, things to think about. If my back leg is in line with my front leg, it's kind of like I'm on a balance beam, and that's really challenging. I'm going to take my foot more out to the side, so I'm kind of more like on train tracks, I guess. That gives me a little bit wider of a base, so that's already helping me out some. Back to alignment. Only thing that's happened here is I've changed the placement of my feet. Still pressing down, crown of the head still reaching high, aware of my ears, my shoulders, my rib cage, and my pelvis. Imagine somebody came and just poked you in the belly button, which is going to cause your belly to pull in, and we're going to engage these muscles because it's core work. Your hands could stay on the wall. You could see how it would feel to reach your arms high. Maybe even check out, could you take an arm away? Maybe you can take both arms away. It's your call. Great place to explore your balance. See what you got going on today. Let's take a few breaths here. Now, I mentioned earlier tips about the knee. My front knee is pretty much over my heel. It's not out beyond my toes. So you're deciding how big your stance is here, but that knee, a little tip for the knee is important. Okay, you want to add a little extra challenge to balance. You might put your hands back on the door frame before you do this. You could straighten that front leg and then bend it again. So that's just adding some movement to your balance pose. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing if that doesn't make sense. So this is where I started. All I did is I added a straighten and a bend. Straighten and a bend. You're in control of how big that stance is. Maybe you're finding you can go a lot further. I'm still keeping my knee over my ankle or behind it. So after all that playing around, I want you to decide, we're going to stay in this shape for 3 breaths. Maybe you're doing it with a straight front leg. Maybe your front leg is bent. You find where you want your arms. Those shoulders are heavy. Your spine is long. Pressing the feet down. Several breaths. Challenging yourself a bit, but not creating any pain. When you're ready to come out of this, your hands can come to the wall. You've got that support there. Oh, step that back foot forward. That might have been really intense, so you might need to wiggle those hips out a little bit. Check on time. Let's go do that same thing on the opposite side. As always, 2 sides of your body are going to be different. So treat this like you've never done it before, because we haven't done it on this side yet. So I'm going to step my opposite foot back. Paying attention to my knee, making sure that alignment. And I can't stress enough, it is not so important how far you step back. Maybe you've got a little step back. Maybe you've got a giant step back. It's you finding your place that you feel a little challenged, no pain, remembering we're not on a balance beam, we're on train tracks, so you guys can see both of my feet in the camera. Making sure my knee is not out over those toes, it's pretty much over the ankle. Getting my balance, I've got my door frame. Gonna press my feet down, get those legs working, reach the crown of the head high. Might feel a bit of a stretch. You can feel stretches all over the place. I get a pretty big stretch in that back leg. And find my balance. See what I want to do with my arms. They might stay on the wall. They might come away. Pull that belly in. Imagine somebody came and just poked you in the belly button again. Get those muscles engaged, shoulders heavy. Maybe even smile every now and then like you're having fun, working on your balance in your doorway. Couple of breaths. Now I'm going to put my hands back to my wall because first I want to just see how does it feel on this side to straighten and bend that leg a few times. So you're playing with that, seeing how it works best for you. And then at some point you decide, maybe you're keeping that front leg straight, maybe you like that feeling, maybe you're keeping that leg bent. Let's take several breaths right here, feeling what's happening in your body, those feet pressing into the mat, your legs strong, crown of the head reaching high, belly pulling in, arms wherever makes most sense for your balance. So those are our two kind of standing lunge balance poses at the door. I want to end with just a couple of real quick stretches, and then we'll be all done. So first stretch I want to do is just have you, again, as always, all going to be different. I'm actually standing slightly behind the door frame, so I'm kind of in the shadows. I'm going to have my hands up against the wall and just lean forward the tiniest amount, because what we're looking for is a stretch across the chest and the shoulders. And you can play with the arms feel better lower or higher. It doesn't have to be a big move. Like I feel a really big stretch across my chest just with that little teeny lean. I'm gonna stay here for about, I would say, count of 20. So really let those muscles start to release a bit. Nice, and then just back away. It might be a little tender when the arms come down. Now I'm gonna step more in the door frame and just a little side body stretch. We're gonna reach my hand up. So my chair arm is reached up. Then I'm gonna see about taking my arm over to the opposite door frame. Some of you might be able to do that. You might not be able to. I said earlier in class that a lot of times when we do like side stretching and twisting, we have a tendency to roll forward. So maybe let that shoulder kind of drop out in front, but then could you stack that shoulder on top and maybe even press it back. So see what you can find in the shoulder, in the side of the body. Just find a few breaths here. You can even kind of press your hips from side to side, see where you get the best stretch. It's gonna vary. When you're ready, let's go ahead and just reach that arm back over to the other side. If you're really tall, you've even got the top of the door frame to give you some support. Same thing, other side. We're gonna slide that arm up. Maybe that's your side stretch. That might be where you stay, and you could just kind of press into that arm a little bit. You could reach across the top over to the opposite side. Maybe you grab the door frame. You could press your hips from side to side. Same thing we did on the other side. You could let that top shoulder drop forward, back to center. Oh, maybe come back behind a little bit. A few breaths here. You can even explore where you're looking, see what you find in your neck. Beautiful. Let's bring that back. Ooh, again, stretches make you feel a little tender afterwards. Let's bring those arms down by the sides. I'm going to step out of the doorway. My favorite way to end a class, both arms reach out really wide. You're going to reach around, give yourself a great big hug. A hug is a super good stretch. Oh, kind of bring your shoulders forward and then back and out of the ears. So notice which arm you have on top. I have my chair arm on top. So I'm gonna unwind this giant hug. Reach back around, opposite arm on top this time. Same thing. Oh, nice big hug. Okay, even wiggle side to side. Back to center. Ooh, release those arms, give them a good shake. Thank you all so much for participating in our class today. Hope you will check out the Parkinson's Movement Initiative sometime. Our information should be below this video, I believe. And once again, I want to make sure to thank the Parkinson's Foundation for inviting us to participate in the PD Health and Home Fitness Friday video series. Take care and yeah, keep moving.